I mean, we're dealing with 4 or 5, 6 hour lineups of travelers who obviously are arriving at our counter extremely irate at what they're having to go through to cross into Canada. I mean, I'm hearing from one of our officers in Niagara Falls that he's had travelers come through who had actually urinated and defecated themselves, having been stuck in the car for so long. To give you an idea of how terrible and drastic the situation at our borders was and how terribly short-staffed we are, I think that says it all.
That was Mark Weber, president of the CBSA Border Officer Union. Travelers have urinated and defecated in lineups. That's the state of Canada today. But not complying works. Sometimes you gotta pour sand, you gotta throw wrenches into the gears to get things to change.
The last months have shown that ArriveCan fails to facilitate cross-border travel while doing very little to address the severe gaps in border security that are plaguing our country. Following the recent announcement that the use of the ArriveCan application would no longer be mandatory, it is hard to convey the relief that border officers across the country must be feeling. While border officers take great pride in their duty to serve the Canadian public, I know with great certainty that none of them imagine that the best use of a trained law enforcement officer would be to provide IT support due to really an ill-designed app that failed to take into account the idiosyncrasies at our borders. Again, what we have seen with the ArriveCan app when it was in place, though, is the greatest difficulty that we had was that people simply didn't know that they had to complete the app, or we had some cases where people just refused to fill it out. So we had to deal with a good, 30 to 40% of travelers arriving without it completed, which caused the 4 or 5 hour lineups that we saw. So it wasn't so much a matter of not being able to, it was simply not wanting to, or not even knowing that it was a requirement, which more often than not was the issue. Ultimately, what the failure of ArriveCan shows us is that our government must continue to invest in people to best serve people and reconsider its pursuit of a one-size-fits-all technological panacea.
Don't comply, stand in line, wear a diaper. A big hail to all of our brethren out there who have put an end to the ArriveCan app. And even if it's just suspended for now, it's a real political hot potato. Honor, accountability, integrity, and loyalty. Hail freedom, hail my brethren, and hail our patriots.